To learn more about this topic, we are joined from Dubai by Ziad Awad, the CEO of Awad Capital Limited. Welcome, Ziad. We are now back to see some gains on U.S. Treasury bonds after we observed some weakness this morning and in yesterday's session, with market pricing possibly reflecting the likelihood of Harris's victory. But now we are returning to record some gains. What do you think the markets are pricing in for the bonds? A win for Trump or for Harris?
There is a lot of volatility right now in the market expectations. You have two sources. For these expectations, on one hand, the polls show a nearly even split between Trump and Harris, but the financial markets and the betting markets are strongly leaning towards Trump. You can check the main page of Bloomberg for all the bets coming from various sources. One of the sources had Trump at 57% yesterday, and now it has risen to 61%. This means that the expectations and bets in favor of Trump are strengthening. If you look at the bets for Trump, we see rising interest rates and a stronger dollar, and vice versa. On the other hand, if we look at the expectations for Harris, we see falling interest rates and a declining dollar.
So the fluctuations will remain in the upcoming period.
There will definitely be many fluctuations, meaning we are talking about the election starting in a few hours. Election day is today in America, so after tonight during Dubai time, but usually by tomorrow in the Gulf time, we will start to see the results. Typically, we would know the result by the end of the American night, which is the end of our day, tomorrow in the Gulf. However, there is a possibility this year that there could be a delay of a few days, especially if Harris wins, as there will be legal challenges from several Trump supporters for Harris to succeed. If Trump wins, I believe it will be a clear and swift outcome. Therefore, if Harris wins, we expect the fluctuations to continue.
For a longer period, what do you think the implications of these elections and a Trump victory versus Harris will be on the Japanese yen, as we have been monitoring the yen for some time, and also on the difference between the yields of Japanese government bonds and U.S. Treasury bonds?
In my opinion, if Trump wins, the impact on the market won't be very strong, because Trump is, as we say, priced in, meaning in terms of interest rates and even in the equity markets. The significant volatility will occur if Harris wins. At that point, we might see a strong drop in US interest rates and the US dollar, which would strengthen the Japanese yen. We could also see weakness in the financial markets, in the US equity markets. If Harris wins, especially if there are days or weeks where we are uncertain whether she won or not, there will be a lot of fear in the market, and there will be significant fluctuations. That's why I also say that even if Trump wins, the market will calm down a bit. Even interest rates or currencies will see some relief, because currently the biggest factor affecting the market is fear and uncertainty.
We also have the Federal Reserve meeting this week amid widespread expectations that it will cut interest rates by 0.25%. And we also have the Bank of England with another expected 0.25% cut. How do you think these policies will affect central banks in light of the uncertainty surrounding the US elections?
At the end of the day, the most important thing for the market is the central bank's policy and corporate profits. Elections come and go, especially in America, where the system and the administration are what truly matter. We talk a lot about the elections, but at the end of the day, it's the Federal Reserve and private companies that drive the market. I expect there will definitely be a 25 basis point change from the Federal Reserve this week, because it's not the time to increase uncertainty and volatility. December has a bit more uncertainty, but the market is also expecting a 25 basis point change from the Federal Reserve in December as well.
How do you expect Wall Street trading to be with the markets opening today? We witnessed declines in yesterday's session as the elections and voting began. What do you think today's session will be like on Wall Street?
In my opinion, today the liquidity will be light and the fluctuations will be a bit strong, maybe not as much as the last 2 days, but still liquidity will be light. No traders, investors or fund managers will be willing to take many risks or make strong positions. The current market positions are such that those who want to take stances have already done so. However, if someone tries to make a large transaction, the movements and fluctuations will be quite strong.
In the upcoming period, if the weakness of the yen continues, and since the Federal Reserve is lowering interest rates but at a slow pace, we have seen that the Bank of Japan has kept interest rates unchanged. There is also some uncertainty surrounding the composition of the Japanese parliament after the Liberal Democratic Party lost its parliamentary majority. How do you think these factors will play a role in the potential return of carry trades on the yen?
In my opinion, the problem in Japan is the political issue and the leadership problem and how the government will be after these elections. Generally, I believe the Bank of Japan will not be able to allow the yen to rise above this level, and 53 has become a bit concerning for them regarding inflation. Don't forget that most of the inflation in Japan is coming from the weakness of the currency. So the bank will be forced to act. If they don't raise interest rates, they will have to take action. But their situation is a bit difficult now with the formation of the government, especially after the American elections.
The Bank of England is also meeting this week, and of course we have a large number of European banks meeting this week as well. However, regarding the Bank of England, there are some challenges facing the decision on interest rates, especially after the release of the latest budget.
Of course, the current economic situation in the UK is certainly difficult, and they need to find a way to significantly improve their economy in order to effectively address the challenges faced by the country. Let's see what their decision will be.
Thank you very much, Ziad Awad, CEO of Awad Capital Limited.